Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for October 2023. So on October 22nd, we have Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, ruler of information, communication, how it is that we express ourselves, moving out of the flip-floppy, indecisive energy of Libra to move into the emotional and intuitive depths of our psyche in Scorpio energy. Okay, so let's unpack here for a second. Mercury has been in Libran energy. And of course, with Mercury in Libra, we were trying to compromise. We were trying to negotiate. We're trying to stay fair. We're trying to stay in the light end, the shallow end of the pool, if you will. We're trying to find balance. But of course, indecision reigns supreme in Libran energy. In the Libran energy, we were trying to come up with reasonable solutions, fair solutions to make everyone involved super happy. I don't know how y'all feel that went, but I don't think we were very successful in that. And now that we are moving into Scorpio energy, we're kind of blending the beautiful brilliance, the intellect of Mercury with the emotional intuition and insights of Scorpio energy. So, when we had Mercury in Libra, we wanted to think that fairness and justice was a point in which we could all kind of reach so that everybody could be happy-go-lucky and nobody could be kind of, I'm going to say, treated unfairly. I think that's an unrealistic concept, but that's the energy and effort that we always strive towards. Mercury in Scorpio energy, we know life isn't fair. We know that those scales are rarely balanced in that Libran energy. And even more than that, because of the dark undertones that happen with Scorpio energy, because it is shadow work, because it is a major change and transformation, it's almost as if we have to focus more on the parts that aren't fair than the parts that are. We are looking for truth. We are looking for hidden details. We are looking for power struggles. We're looking to unearth and uncover little bits and pieces of our psyche, of our inner narrative, of our conditioning that prove to be the blockages on us being able to actually kind of move forward, understand from a different perspective, if you will. There is a whole metamorphosis and transformation that takes place in Scorpio energy, and this is going to be a change, a transformation, and metamorphosis of our mind space. I think it's very important to also note that we just had Mercury and the Sun have their conjunction in this Libran energy that opened up a brand new mental perspective, thought, idea, train of focus, if you will. This is a brand new cycle for Mercury. It happened at the final degrees of Libran energy, and then we're swooping, doing a deep dive into the hidden parts of our psyche here in the Scorpio energy. So in our thoughts, in our communications, we're kind of putting the detective hat on. That's what Scorpio energy is all about. We're deep. We're dark, we're intense, we're probing. Yeah, we want to observe. Yeah, we want to kind of just sit back and see how other people operate, because inner workings of the human mind is a fascinating topic here for Scorpio energy. But we're also kind of looking to see if people are going to tell on themselves. Sometimes all you have to do is let people do what it is that they want to do in order for you to have all of the answers that you need. And we're looking for other people's motivations. We're looking for other people's focuses to see where it is that we're standing in their plan, in their path, in their strategy. But when we're looking within ourselves, which is definitely something that we do in Scorpio energy, we're looking for those deep, dark little nuggets that have been buried deep within our conditioning, deep within our narrative, that has us kind of caught up, if you will. Scorpio energy is a fixed sign. So resistant to change, but also very, very transformative by understanding the darkness that we all have within us and flipping the script into something more empowering. So we're in a very intellectual state, but we also have this undertow of intuition really kind of answering a lot of questions that we're not getting on the surface level that we 100% need at this point in order to make an informed decision on what it is that we're moving away from and what it is that we want to create from here. Our thoughts, our ideas, our epiphanies are so freaking profound. They're going to reverberate through our whole being, through our whole past experiences, changing the way that we look at things, that we thought we had a good understanding of in our past, and therefore altering the way that we are now looking at the potential possibilities of our future. Where in the Libran energy, we were kind of staying in the shallow end. We wanted to kind of, we didn't want to go too deep. We wanted to kind of stay in that shallow end where everything was kind of light and bubbly and fluffy. Well, we're all the way in the deep end. And we're so deep in the deep end that we can't even see the light breaking through the surface of the water at this point. And it can be very depressing. It can be very isolating. But we need to do that within ourselves in order to unearth some of the blockages that we're having in our mental plane due to the conditioning and indoctrination that we've been under. And therefore, unearthing these little tidbits, these little, let's call them bleeps in our psyche, going to majorly change the game as far as our perspective, our understanding goes. And so we're in favor of doing the deep dive. We want to sit in the most intense, deep conversations about life, about whatever needs to be talked about, the painful parts of our experiences. We have to talk about them. We have to unearth them. We have to give the opportunity to shape them in a different way. So our intellect is definitely pinging off the wall. Our intuition, definitely pinging off the wall. We're able to pick up on subtle energies, or I'm going to say reading in between the lines, so to speak. And we're able to process that in a very fast, very accurate kind of way. Now, we do have, I'm going to say, the potential to have a very one-track mind. We become obsessed. The Scorpio energy is very obsessive. Until we can fix it or change it or transform it, we need to only think about that. And that can be very exhausting. We can be missing out on a lot of things taking place in our peripherals because we have this one-track mind. Yes, it's great to have focus, but it can borderline into obsession. And that's where we kind of have to pull the reins back, so to speak. I think it's also very interesting that Mercury has a very short time in the Scorpio energy. It's only about 20 days. And I think that that's very profound to think about because many of us can't hold our breath for 20 days. And when we're doing a deep dive in the depths of our psyche, trust me when I say that 20 days is going to feel like eternity. And although it is an absolutely necessary part of the process to do this deep dive, to unearth little blockages in our psyche, we do need to come up for air sooner than later, thus the shorter time in this Scorpio energy. Now, we have a lot going on the greater global stage, if you will. We have a lot going on within ourselves. And we have to see the connection and the correlation to our own individual lives, our own vibration and frequency, and what that means for the greater, grander collective. One thing that we are not going to be is shocked by anything that happens. Now, let me just say this. Even if you are shocked by something that is going to happen, you are going to be looked at like the coolest cucumber that you could possibly be, because we are very, very good at holding a poker face with this Scorpio energy. And so even if something comes out of the woodwork, again, we're still in eclipse season, we have to expect the unexpected. Even if something comes out of the woodwork that is shocking, we are going to have a non-reaction to it. We're going to keep that stuff to ourselves. Scorpio energy, very private. And so there is this, I'm going to say, realm of shock and disruption that is coming at us because we are in eclipse season. But this is just going to help us see the different layers of energy, of activity, of motive, of inspiration behind some of these quote unquote shocking, surprising details. Now, again, this is about analyzing. This is about processing. We are deep in the psyche. We love psychological analyzation in Scorpio energy. So this could be a great time for studying something new because we're going to absorb information at a much more accelerated rate. This is a great time for observing because, again, we're people watching. Scorpios love to people watch. So the Scorpio energy really learns a lot by observing other people, really trying to figure out how human psyches work in other people. Again, realizing we're just coming out of this Libran energy, that everybody in our lives, anything exterior to us is just a mirrored reflection to our inner realm. We have that understanding with Mercury and Scorpio. So to sit back and watch situations unfold or watch people do their things is very revealing to who it is that we are, what goes on within us that we may not be aware of until we're able to see it outside of ourselves. So we have to understand that Scorpio energy is shadow work. It is where we go to the darkest parts of ourselves, of our thoughts, of our memories, of our existence. And we kind of build ourselves up out of the pain and trauma that we had to experience in order for us to be pushed back into our power. Again, Scorpio energy is where we take the fragmented version of ourselves that definitely seen the divide in Libra energy, and we merge them back together. We attempt to unify so that we can stand in a state of wholeness. So we're not afraid to go to those dark places. We're not afraid to kind of flip the script, if you will. We're not afraid to talk about those taboo subjects. We're not afraid to move into a conversation. Again, Mercury loves to communicate, into a conversation of great depth where our feelings may get hurt. We're not afraid of doing that because we know that it's a natural process that we have to go through to unearth, to clear the air, to get on the same page with whoever it is that we're feeling this disconnect, this detachment with. The one thing about Scorpio energy is that we want to merge and unify and have that deep soul connection with anything and anyone that we are valuing enough, deeming to be worthy enough to continue to share our time, energy, and space with. We are very instinctual. Our intuition is very high. New psychic abilities come online with any placement in Scorpio energy, but we are kind of in the state where we're not messing around. We're not effing around, if you will. We're not afraid to flip tables if it means resolving whatever situation, whatever conflict needs to be resolved. And we want to get to the truth. We only care about truth in Scorpio energy, as dark and painful as that truth may be. So we want to get to the bottom of the barrel of the heart of the matter, if you will. We don't want to mess around. We're going to be straightforward. We're going to be direct. We need to kind of really trust our instincts, trust our intuition, and really, if we just feel compelled to do something, we're going to do it. If we're compelled to speak on something, we're going to speak it. If we, in previous months, have been hesitant to have this particular heart-to-heart conversation, we are going to be eagerly seeking these particular confrontations out. We're very, very much in the mood to just clear the air. We just want to figure things out. We want to fix it. Again, we're in a fixed water sign. This is a time to stabilize our thoughts, our communications, our conversations, stabilize our perspective, our ideas. And so we can see a little bit of an emergence, if you will, with secret motives or secrets, or just taboo topics that we just feel like we need to bite our tongue on. We are more apt to talk about the things that we normally keep very much behind the mask, behind the surface level of our experiences. We want to bring that out. It is not very easy for us to trust in Scorpio energy. We're very skeptical. We're very suspicious. There's a lot of shadow work that creeps up, such as jealousy and betrayal and power struggles, if you will. And so this is what I say, like Mercury is going to put us in situations where we're going to confront someone and ask them about the truth. They're going to tell us their version of the truth, and we're not going to believe it. We're going to have to rely on our intuition to pluck out what they're not saying in order to grasp a truer vision of what it is that their truth actually may be. And sometimes we have to learn the hard way, especially in Scorpio energy. There is no better way to learn than the hard way. And so we may come to a certain, agreement or conclusion about something, and then we get smacked with a, let's call it wild card energy or wild card event. And then as hard as that truth or that situation or that experience may be, we truly appreciate it for its real, raw, vulnerable form. So this is a great time to kind of get a grip in your mental plane, to investigate the inner depths of your psyche as well. It's a great time for research, great time to kind of get to the bottom of the truth. And I would say that we're really going to have to learn to trust ourselves first and foremost in this energy. We're going to have to learn to trust our intuition, if you will. And we are definitely going to understand that there are multiple layers that we need to pull back in our own understanding And on the greater, grander stage of these situations that seem kind of confusing and ugly, there are multiple layers that will be peeled back, that will be revealed, that will kind of illuminate a totally different perspective, a different truth that we may not have been in alignment with until we get rocked, get bitch slapped with reality, if you will, in order for us to all learn the truth the hard way.